404 coming up on 405 here on KHTS. A Place to Heal presented by Santa Clarita life coach Alex Urbina is coming up this Wednesday, November 20th at the closed Bouquet Canyon Elementary School. Help your family heal from the trauma, the fear, all of the grief associated with last Thursday's Saugus High shooting. More info at alexurbina.com or keep listening because he joins me in studio right now. What's happening, Alex?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going well. Now, you were here on Thursday. You were not here over the weekend. You had training sessions out of town, correct?
Yes, I was working with a group on a teen and parenting workshop.
And did last Thursday's events, did that impact you? Did that, because you go in with an agenda, you have a plan of how you want the training sessions to go. Did Thursday's events impact how you proceeded? Did you have to change how you approached the training sessions?
It did and it didn't. It affected me as I delivered the workshop, so I was more vulnerable and I delivered it in a way that was more intense so that the parents had a wake-up call to recognize what they're doing to their kids unconsciously by projecting their own fears and doubts and some of their old conditioned parent style onto their kids. And so it affected the training in that way. But to be honest with you, if you don't live in Santa Clarita, you're just a little bit stuck in
you're numb to it.
I feel bad for them, but it didn't happen to them.
Right.
It's different. It's like when it happened in Florida, it's like, man, my heart breaks for those people in Florida. And then it's like, all right, guys, what do you want to eat tonight? But when it happens in your hometown, it rocks you to the core and you get stuck in man, it happened here. And so then we got to go now through the grieving and the whole process of now starting to heal ourselves.
What do you think we could do to prevent something like this? Is there anything we can do?
My theory is we have to start getting to people that are distraught and have decided that they don't matter anymore and that they have a low self-esteem. They are still trying to figure out how to belong to somebody or have a higher purpose. We have a lot of hurt, lost, broken people in our community that live amongst us that put a smile on their face and they act like everything's fine, but there's this deep hole inside of them, like an inadequacy. And I believe as a society, if we start connecting to those people more and validating them and having conversations and because if you think about it, on a normal day when we're unconscious, we walk right by people and we don't even say hello.
Right.
I've tried sometimes to either give away free stuff or if I got extra tickets to a ball game or whatever, I'll try to just hand it to people and their wall goes up and they just ignore me. And it just goes to show us that in society today, we've been so jaded by people taking advantage of us or hurting us or trying to rip us off that we don't even make eye contact. We don't connect anymore because we just don't trust.
I think a lot of people are just moving so fast because they feel like they don't have time, right?
That could be it too. Absolutely.
And so everybody's moving so fast and focused on their own things that a lot of people are disconnected.
That's right.
And disaffected.
That's right.
So I think a lot of, the big resource here is time. And a lot of times we might not have either the time to, or feel like we have the time to reach out. But as I was telling you off air, especially on school campuses, it takes a lot of connecting and just talking to break down those walls and to kind of get to know people and if they're uncomfortable or if they're feeling disaffected. I remember in junior high school, I went to Clarita. I believe her name was Miss Blevins, whatever it was. There was a group that would come together like once a month, once every 2 weeks. And I'm telling you, people from different types of groups throughout the campus, whether it's, the popular kids or the band kids, or these are the athletes, just a melting pot of kids coming together like representatives, like a United Nations almost of the campus. And we come together and we connect. And I'm not saying you have to, these are your best friends forever, but I'm saying just getting to know people in different, across the school campus can help bring everyone together and help kind of make it more societal.
And I think that's a beautiful thing that you experienced. However, I would like to see that on a bigger scale. I would like to see Instead of teachers saying, hey, we want this in our school and we're going to do it, I would love to see for school districts to decide that that's important and maybe hire some people in our community that are really good at that, at developing relationships and people that are good at empowering kids and building them up. There's probably about 300 or 500 people like that in our community that would love jobs like that if there was funding and they saw the value of creating that, so that there's a group of committed people looking for kids that have low self-esteem, that have disconnected from each other, and or maybe they're getting picked on, and then a little bit of time you start to create a little small group like you were talking about, where you bring them together, you have them get to know each other, they create relationships with each other. You can now mentor those kids, and then you can, once you develop that kind of trust and credibility with those kids, you can now start planting these seeds of empowerment in them and build them up. Hey, I believe in you. Hey, good job today. Hey, you're capable of doing that, and just speaking into their greatness. And I think that those kids, you're probably about a handful of them, maybe a dozen of them in every school that just get ignored. Probably not on purpose. It's just for whatever reason, everywhere they go in all of their different circles, they're just ignored.
They just fall through the cracks.
They do, and it's heartbreaking.
And you know what? Sometimes those kids are looking to fall through the cracks. They don't want to be noticed. And so if you take the time out to acknowledge them and to kind of pull them up, it empowers them. Alex Urbina has an event coming up this Wednesday, A Place to Heal, at the closed Bouquet Canyon Elementary School. Help your family heal from the trauma, all the fear, the grief associated with last week's Saugus High shooting. More info at alexurbina.com. That is alexurbina.com. And Alex, for a lot of people that don't know what you do, explain it, because I think there's a common misconception that, whether somebody's kid displays adequate social skills or their grades are fine, they might not think that their kid is at risk of, falling through the cracks.
Yeah, and let me say it in this way. All children are at risk. All children grow up to be adults who are at risk. At risk for what? At risk for not knowing how truly extraordinary we are, and at risk at having insecurities that get in the way of us reaching our full potential. We have insecurities that get in the way of us believing in ourselves. We have insecurities that get in the way of us learning how to speak up for ourselves and discovering our own personal power, and driving us and propelling us to live our life in a way that we feel good about ourselves, we feel proud, and we're happy, and we're fulfilled. And so there's a lot of people that learn how to be good at with their personality. And so they put a lot of effort in their personality, and they show up in the world in a specific way that everyone goes, man, I like that guy. Or, man, she's a rock star. She's a powerhouse. Well, people don't realize a lot of those people go home and they have this huge empty void inside of them. They go home and they're depressed and they're alone because they try really hard to project somebody that they're not. And I think we have a lot of those people in school. A lot of the kids are like that. Especially with social media, they're all trying to be something that they're not. And so they're creating this image, and they're putting a lot of work into this image and this persona and this facade of being successful and being the leadership kid. But deep down inside, there's a lot of insecurities that not many people know that they're suffering with, including their parents. And the only reason why I know that is because I've worked with kids and teenagers for over 25 years. This is what they're telling me in the training rooms when they're vulnerable. They'll flat out at a certain point, when they trust me, say, I'm a faker. I'm faking it. And it's not until they trust me enough to be able to reveal that.
How long does it take for some kids to break down their walls and kind of come clean to you?
Well, I'm able to do it in 48 hours.
Really?
Yeah. Usually, probably within the first 5 to 7 hours of the first day, they've already gotten into their heart. They've already cried about 3 or 4 times. And all of a sudden, through the ability that I've developed to speak to their greatness and kind of remind them of who they are, Not because I know them personally, but because I know and I believe in humanity. And so I just am speaking of their greatness. And before I know it, there's this little spark inside of them. They want to hear those things. And what's crazy about it is that their parents are probably saying the same things, but they have their parents in that parent box.
Yeah, right.
Well, you're supposed to say that because you're my mom.
Right, exactly.
But to have someone else validate you when you're a kid is an extraordinary gift. When the next door neighbor guy says, "Hey, Mike, I saw you put that trash away. Like, your parents got to be proud of you. Like, you're a good kid." That validates you. And sometimes we need people in our village to validate us.
And yeah, I mean, look, I had the most present parents of all. In fact, my dad was probably too present. He was probably there too much.
Right.
But, it still doesn't mean that you're giving your kid or your kid is getting everything out of that. You could still be putting on a facade. And I'm sure, you've got kids of your own and you're a life coach. And I'm sure even still.
Huge challenges. And that's why I put my kids with other people so that they could validate my kids. Because you could love and inspire and empower your kids till the cows come home. And their bucket's going to get full probably till about 70%. They still need other people to validate them. They need their aunts, their uncles, their teachers. They need their friends. They need, from the outside world, people have to be basically validating that what you're saying is true to them. Before you know it, now their bucket's full to a good 90%. Now you got a solid, emotional, intelligent child that's living their life like a leader.
So we're talking with Alex Urbina, Santa Clarita life coach. He's got an event coming up this Wednesday, a place to heal at Bouquet Canyon Elementary School. More info at alexurbina.com. Shifting back to the Saugus High shooting, it's now Monday. Saugus is out of school until the end of Thanksgiving break, I believe. They're going back the first week of December. Other hard schools are in session today. Is it normal for parents of students that go to other high schools, other elementary schools, other middle schools, and junior high schools to feel hesitant and to feel scared to take their child to school today?
Absolutely. In fact, it's a normal process. It's normal to be afraid to take your son or daughter to school, especially if you live in Santa Clarita and today, because you love your child. You love your baby. You love them probably more than you love yourself. Most parents would take a bullet for their children. So the fact that something recently has happened that has broken our trust in our community, to think that one of our own, several of our own have been shot. Some of them have been killed. Some of them have been just damaged in a very destructive way. They're going to be suffering for years to come. And so we love our kids so much that it's a process that we have to go through to totally trust and surrender and go, all right, community, here's my baby. And I don't like it, but I'm going to have to do it because at some point we got to get back to whatever our normal looks like. And so I just want to say, yeah, absolutely. It's a normal thing to be afraid, and you just got to learn how to embrace it and kind of go through that journey.
And as a parent, do you internalize that? Do you have a discussion with your kids saying like, look, I feel nervous dropping you off? Because you don't want to project fear onto them. How do you deal with that if you are a parent and you are having those thoughts?
That's a great question. There's a distinction between projecting fear on to your kids and being honest about what you're feeling. They're not the same. For me, what projecting my fear onto my kids is it sounds like I'm scolding them or I'm angry at them. I'm reprimanding them all out of fear. So I'm projecting my fear and from their side, they feel like they're bad and wrong. And so to me, that's what projecting my fear is. It's okay to share your fear and be emotionally honest about, hey, dad's afraid. Hey, you know what? Your mom's just scared. I'm afraid for you. In fact, kids have told me that when their parents are emotionally honest like that, that inspires them. What's crazy is that our ego as a parent thinks that information is going to eventually be used against us. So our ego will never let us reveal that, hey, dad's afraid. Think about it. How many times did your dad ever break down and cry in front of you and go, daddy's afraid?
I can count it on two fingers.
Exactly my point. However, the kids that become emotionally resilient and emotionally intelligent are the ones that have parents that live courageously like that and reveal and share and open up. And so then those children go, oh my God, like, Dad, that means that if you're afraid, then I can be afraid. And if we teach our kid by virtue of modeling what we want to see from them, which is being open and sharing and emotionally honest, then we gotta be showing them what that looks like. They're only gonna mirror and mimic us if we're these, robotic, go-getters that just are like super achievers, and we go out and we tackle any challenge, and we're super successful and make millions of dollars and all these beautiful homes, but we never reveal our true feelings and never let our kids in. They never know us.
Yeah.
But then what's going to happen is you're going to just create offsprings of the same robotic go-getters chasing the success and the money, and they're going to be suffering in relationships. More importantly, their relationship with their own self.
The message: strength in vulnerability. Is Alex Urbina, Santa Clarita life coach. He's got an event coming up this Wednesday, A Place to Heal, at the closed Bouquet Canyon Elementary School. More info, tickets available at alexurbina.com. What's going to be going on at this event?
Tickets
available. No tickets available.
Because it's free.
Oh, $3.99. I love that.
Did you not know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, this is my contribution back to the community. And if you don't come to my event, go to some event. Because this is what I love most about Santa Clarita, is that there's so many beautiful people, beautiful healers and light workers in this community that have been coming out of the woodworks. I've been getting phone calls in the last 5 days going, Alex, whatever you need. And so they're eager to be of assistance. I think we have a shortage of people that will actually take them up on their offers. I think that, we're going to be having, stuff every night. There's stuff tonight. There's stuff tomorrow night. So for the next 2 or 3 weeks, you're going to have people that are going to come out and be offering these free, workshops or support groups or whatever it is. So you have a plethora of options, from churches to spiritual groups and everyone in between that just love their community and want to be in service. So go somewhere. Go plug in somewhere to heal.
What about somebody that says, you know what, I'll get over it on my time, on my own volition. I don't need to reach out. I don't need a group. And I can get through it by myself.
And that's okay too. So there's no right or wrong here. Yeah. There's just options, which is pretty cool, right?
I love that.
It's just options.
Yeah.
It's just, hey, that's good for you. That's what works for you. It doesn't work for everyone. And the crazy thing about it is that grief is a custom thing. So if you have 150 broken hearts in this community, there's 150 grieving processes, and then it means that every one of them is at a different place in that journey of grief. Some are super angry.
Yeah.
Some are semi-angry. Some are super compassionate. Some are just fearful. Some are, in the process of already at forgiveness. So it depends on where you're at in your stage. And that's what I'm excited about Wednesdays, because when people show up, I'm going to do a little bit of throwing some stuff out there to just hit the general people, and then I'm going to break it down into sections. Like, depending on where you're at, we're going to set you up with some of my team. For those that just need a share, we're going to put you over here. For those that need a little bit more advanced stuff, you can come over this area. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to try to serve everybody the best way I can on a Wednesday.
How about a parent whose student, and a lot of schools, most schools, and in fact, every school outside of Saugus was back at school this morning. What about if you're a parent of a student that goes to Saugus, and even after the Thanksgiving break, they say, Mom, Dad, I don't want to go to school. I'm afraid. How do you tackle that issue?
You don't tackle it, first of all. But I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
You meet
them. Of course, Alex, I don't have kids. I don't know how to approach any of this.
I love this. You just meet them where they are. You meet them where they are. You make it okay that they still haven't gotten to the place that society or the school district has decided that this is the time frame we're giving you. It's not a set time frame. So if you're still not ready at that time, that's okay. But the school district, I believe, has compassion, and I'm hoping, and I want to believe that they called out and reached out to other communities that have gone through this before, and maybe they got coaching or some insight and decided that this is a good number of days to take off that gives them that window. But let's say out of 100,000 kids, maybe only 80,000 of them are only now ready to go back after the break, and then you'll have another 20,000 that are gonna, probably another 10,000 that'll force themselves and kind of just trust the process, and then you might have about 3,000 or 4,000 that still need some more time, and that's okay too.
Yeah.
The crux of this is that as a parent, it's your job to be mindful and aware and constantly checking in with them. And then I have some tips of how to try to get them through the stages of getting them to that level intentfully.
Alex Urbina, Santa Clarita Life Coach, he has an event coming up this Wednesday, November 20th at the closed Bouquet Canyon Elementary School. My favorite price, free $99. More info at alexurbina.com. We're going to take a break, come back, have Live Like a Traffic and national news brought to you by CNN.
With locations throughout the valley, Providence offers the most advanced technology and therapies for treating cancer in Southern California. Call 1-888-HEALING for your annual checkup or second opinion. The road to healing leads to Providence.
Time for a car wash, but fearful of the scratches that go along with it? Canyon Car Wash and Valencia Car Wash proudly use 100% lamb's cloth to prevent scratches and provide the best wash possible. Both locations use environmentally friendly solutions to wash and wax your vehicle, and they both accept all other car wash coupons. Give your vehicle the wash it deserves. Visit Canyon Car Wash on Soledad across from Edwards Cinema, or Valencia Car Wash on Creekside Road behind Target.
This is Cardinellis, host of the show Problem Solver Politics, an independent political talk show that keeps you up to date and in the know on the latest political happenings both nationally and here in the Santa Clarita Valley. Now, this isn't your usual partisan political talk show. At Problem Solver Politics, we don't rant, we don't spew talking points. We have experts from all avenues talk about specific problems and how to solve them. And if your party is in the wrong, we will tell it to your face on air every Sunday at 7 p.m.
Dutton Plumbing, it's Eric.
Gobble, 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 gobble.
Hello?
Don't you recognize my voice? It's Mother.
Oh, hi, Mom. Why the turkey voice?
Well, I was playing gym with my friends when I noticed we're all so old. Our necks look like turkeys. Except Virginia, who had neck surgery and a boob job last year.
And I need to know this because...
Because it made me think. You need to remind people that Dutton Plumbing has emergency service available on Thanksgiving weekend. There's bound to be toilet backups, drain and sewer clearing.
Well, we do have emergency service on holidays. Good idea.
Would that make you enough money to buy Mother a Lipton tuck like Virginia?
Gobble, gobble.
Is that a no?
DuttonPlumbing.com. With plumbers so clean, you'll send them to your mom. DuttonPlumbing.com.
Order Mom's $73 drain clearing. It flows or it's free with a money-back guarantee. Get service and find discount service coupons 24/7 at DuttonPlumbing.com.
Save water and save money. SCV Water wants to help you find your fit and take advantage of conservation rebate programs that will help you save. Water your landscape more efficiently. Replace your lawn with water-wise plants. Conduct free in-home water surveys. Cover your swimming pool and more. Find the programs that fit your needs and start saving today. Visit conserve.yourscvwater.com to learn more.
That's conserve.yourscvwater.com.
Why do people from all over Santa Clarita come to our spa in Canyon Country? Simple. They want the highest quality services at prices that everyone can afford. This is Rosemary from Beyond Harmony Med Spa. Read our reviews and know why we won the Ultimate Beauty Awards 2 years in a row by the readers of Elite magazine. Come and see how close we really are and experience the level of excellence that our clients have loved for the past 13 years. Go to beyondharmony.com or call 298-8008 today for a free consultation.
Beep, 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 beep. Go!
428 traffic now. Traffic every 10 on the 8s all the way till 7 tonight. Aaron Del Torre kicking it with you live in Old Town Newhall. Checking in with CHP right now. No incidents according to them, but both sides of the 5 looking a little bit heavy between the 210 and Lines Avenue. 14 northbound, we are seeing some delays coming away from the 5 up through Escondido Canyon. And that is going to do it. That is traffic here on KHTS. Of course, if you see anything, 298-5487 is the traffic tip line, 298-KHTS, 298-5487. We are coming up on 4:30, so it's time to get you caught up with national news, but stay tuned, more to come.
Traffic brought to you by the law firm of Owen Patterson Owen, helping Santa Clarita drivers recover from life-changing accidents for over 3 decades. Owen Patterson Owen, encouraging you to drive safely. Visit opolaw.com.
9 witnesses will appear before the House Intelligence Committee during 3 hearings this week as the impeachment inquiry continues. Correspondent Lauren Fox.
And this jam-packed week on Capitol Hill really bringing into focus the fact that Democrats want to move forward quickly with this public testimony, although Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House, has not said exactly what the timeline for this impeachment inquiry will be when she's been pushed.
The Trump administration says it no longer considers Israeli settlements in the West Bank to be illegal. Correspondent Oren Lieberman.
That policy, which has guided U.S. foreign policy when it comes to Israel and the Palestinian territories for decades now, is that Israeli settlements in the occupied West Bank were illegal or a violation under international law.
Secretary of State Mike Pompeo says the decision has increased the likelihood of a Middle East peace settlement. On Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average closed up 31 points, the S&P up 1.5. I'm Ann Cates.
There is not one person listening right now that doesn't want some kind of change in their life. Something you want to fix, something you want to get better at. Your temperament, your finances, your debt, your personality, and how you handle people. There is not a person in the world who is perfect. We all crave change to some extent. God created in you a desire to change. Let's go back to the source of newness of life. You can't keep dragging the same old life into another year. You can change.
Visit Elevate Church for any of the 3 Sunday experiences. For service times, location, or any of the other frequently asked questions, go to ielevatechurch.com. That's the letter I, elevatechurch.com.
Mission Valley Bank puts the community in community banking. They strive to be your most trusted bank. Mission Valley Bank is happy to sponsor KHTS Holiday Music. Happy holidays!
If you find yourself in an issue with the IRS and they're threatening you, or you can't sleep at night, remember this name, Anthem Tax Services. Within 2 months, they saved me $25,000.
If you are a small business owner or self-employed and owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state, call Anthem Tax Services today. 866-630-2694. We have saved millions of dollars in tax debt, and our goal is to reduce your tax debt to as little as possible. Call 866-630-2694. We are confident enough in our services to offer a 100% money-back guarantee if we can't put you in a better position than where you started. Call for a free consultation, and we'll also take care of your tax case study for free, saving you hundreds of dollars. Call 866-630-2694. Anthem Tax Services, the trusted name in tax resolution. 866-630-2694. 866-630-2694.
You've been assigned to plan your office party. Time to bring in the experts. AV Party Rentals is your go-to place for the most innovative holiday party ideas. AV's been planning Santa Clarita events from giant galas to intimate gatherings for longer than, well, since Rudolph was a young fawn. AV will turn your office party into a winter wonderland. See the latest holiday displays at Santa Clarita's favorite wedding, party, and holiday event rental store, AV Party Rentals on New Hall Avenue and at avpartyrental.com.
Hi, this is Dr. Pilecki. Most people in Santa Clarita get hurt in a car accident every 8 years. Although most doctors will prescribe medication for relief, without specific rehabilitation, even minor neck injuries cause lifelong problems. And Hot Pack Twist and Crack Want Stim with that is neither specific nor rehabilitation. But our custom-tailored treatments are based on Nobel Prize-winning research. If recently injured, you may qualify for no-cost treatment. Read my reviews on Google and get better.
Chiquita Canyon Landfill takes the waste from our homes and local businesses and puts it to good use. With cutting-edge clean energy technology, Chiquita Canyon powers 10,000 homes each year by harnessing the methane gas from the landfill. So, the next time you wheel your trash can to the curb, feel good that your waste is on its way to making green energy at Chiquita Canyon.
Chiquita Canyon Landfill, our partner in sustainable living. Season's greetings from KHTS.
4:35 coming up on 4:36 here on KHTS. A Place to Heal, presented by Alex Urbina, Santa Clarita Life Coach, is coming up this Wednesday, November 20th, at the Bouquet Canyon Elementary School. Help your family heal from all the trauma, the fear, all the grief associated with last week's tragic events at Saugus High School. More info at alexurbina.com. That is alexurbina.com. Or keep listening, because Alex back in studio with us. What's happening, Alex?
Hey, how's it going?
I'm doing well. How was your weekend? You had a training session.
I did. I was working with parents and teens.
Not locally, though, right?
No, I was actually in L.A. It was a center that hired me to do a training for teenagers and their parents, and it was pretty powerful to be in a training room and have parents and teenagers bring their walls down and be vulnerable and have permission to share and own their part of the relationship and the things that they fall short on, and then to have some powerful exercises where the parents get to take responsibility for the part they play and some of the downfalls in the relationship, and then they get to ask for forgiveness, and then there's forgiving and then accepting forgiveness. It's just a beautiful experience to watch a brand new moment where we get to reinvent our relationships and start over again.
But that takes, if you want to reinvent the relationship, then that takes a lot of people owning to their own mistakes.
Yeah, it takes me 48 hours to get them on the same page, and then get some real work done where they're face to face, having deep, meaningful conversations. But the result is profound. I mean, to see kids and their parents deeply moved by each other and crying and hugging, and it's beautiful.
At the beginning of the 48 hours, do you separate both of them and meet with?
I do.
Okay.
I do, yeah. Because
I
have
the nitty gritty.
I have to do some work with the teens and teach them some stuff, like how to take responsibility for their own actions. I got to teach them some distinctions, leadership distinctions, and then I got to teach the parents. And then we bring them together on Sunday, and it's just an extraordinary moment to watch and be a part of.
I'd imagine that is like going to get your car serviced. A one-time thing, it might help for right now, but moving forward, do you meet with the same families over the years, throughout the year?
Depends on if they keep plugging back in to either that center or they keep plugging back into some of the trainings that I offer, like relationship courses, transformational self-awareness workshops. So if they keep plugging back in, and then I have an opening to like a program to let some of the teens that have done some of my teen empowerment workshops, they can come back and be like a support staff. So they stay connected to the work and to the interpersonal development just by volunteering. So
nice.
Yeah.
So A Place to Heal coming up this Wednesday. How will this, obviously, is going to be different than a normal training session. What can we expect?
Yeah, so you can expect, first off, a loving, non-judgmental space for you to step into and to share if that's what you want to do. But more importantly, just to come in and sit down and be around other people that have broken hearts. And so you can participate at whatever level you want. There's going to be people there that courageously wear their heart on their sleeve, and they might stand up and share. And you get to learn vicariously through watching other people share their stories or some of the things that I'm going to teach about grief and about recovery and about healing. And so it's just going to be a beautiful place to heal. And you just got to, figure out how to get yourself there, or figure out how to invite your son or daughter to want to go, either for themselves. And a lot of times I tell the parents, sometimes you got to trick your kids. And I remember tricking my kids, and I would tell them, in the beginning, I would say, hey, I have a broken heart, and I'm having some anxiety. I'm having some fears that came up today for me dropping you off at school. Will you come and support me? And 9 times out of 10, my kids were like, yeah, I'll go. They probably didn't want to go, but they did it because
they
love
Is there
me,
food
right?
after?
Yeah. And then, some magic happens in wherever we went, and we heard some powerful speakers or whatever it was. And then on the drive home, it was amazing. And they're thanking me for asking them to go.
Right.
So sometimes we got to trick our kids to support. and we got to be the first ones to raise our hand and go, hey, maybe dad needs this.
Yeah, even if the children don't speak out, that silence is a time for self-reflection.
Yeah, even if you go and just sit in the back or sit in the corner or grab a chair and go sit in the corner and listen, at least you got yourself there, right? I have sometimes people will come and they'll be standing outside. The door will be open and they'll just be listening, and maybe that's their first step. So there's no right or wrong way to do it. Just know that when you come, you're going to be welcomed. You're going to be treated like somebody who we love, because we do, and you're just going to have a safe space to just share and open up and try to find some golden nuggets for yourself.
We're talking with Alex Urbina, Santa Clarita life coach. Obviously, there's things legislators could do, that our elected officials could do to prevent a situation like this from happening again. But what would you like to see the school districts do? Are there any programs that you have in mind that school districts could put into action to kind of not single out those that are disaffected, but help bring the entire school population, the entire student body together?
Well, my programs would be, if I'm an advocate programs, it would be mine, or something that I could be a part of or co-create. But it would be preventative work. It would be about building up the child. It would be about empowering them. It would be teaching them about their feelings and how to honor them and how to be empathetic towards each other. It would be more programs about being kind to each other and loving one another. And I just don't see, I'm just being honest, I don't see them in the past. And maybe they were before my time, but I didn't see them as much. And if they were driven by the parent or the teachers like you had.
Yeah,
because the teachers have hearts and they love their kids and they want more from them. So I see teachers digging in their pocket to try to create some of those things or volunteering their time. But I have never really seen school districts, unless they're like a charter school, that they just buy into it.
Right. In middle school at Clarita, I was a student at Clarita Junior High School right here in Newhall. And, during my time, I was singled out as a kid. The teachers would get together and there'd be, one or two teachers leading a lunch, maybe once every 2 weeks, once every month. Students from different groups around the or around the junior high, whether they're band kids or they're the more popular kids or they're athletes or they're, whoever it is, brought individuals together from different factions of the student body. And as I mentioned to you earlier this hour, it's not like the teachers were forcing you from this moment on, you guys are going to be best friends and you are going to hang out at lunch. But just that familiarity, just that one, lunch period every single month, it really brought a closeness to people that you didn't feel like you knew.
And that's the beautiful part, is that you don't have to force people to connect, and you don't have to force people to engage or like each other. All you have to do is see the value of wanting to create the space and then invite people to it. And then as a facilitator, you can facilitate a few things. Most of the time, most people trust you and they'll go along with it. And before you know it, on their own accord, they've decided, I like Tommy. I like Michael. Like, I normally wouldn't have walked up to you and started a relationship or even a conversation.
Yeah.
But because we had it kind of structured and we were invited to it, it's almost like I fell into it.
Yeah, even if it's just a head nod.
Yeah, exactly. It's just an eye contact and a nod, like, hey, I got you.
Like, hey, you're a human.
Hey, I see you, right? I validate that you're here, you're part of my team, you're part of my school.
And that, Alex, right there, seeing you, because a lot of people feel unseen, especially on social media now. A lot of people are just kind of going through the days and they're seeing their peers, popular peers, they're getting attention, and I might not be getting that.
Yeah.
And it's easy to feel disaffected, more so now than ever.
Yeah, I just wrote an article actually yesterday about this same topic, and it's actually a part of my book too. There's this story about the African Zulu tribes. The way they acknowledge each other is they say "Sawubona." It means "I see you," and the common response is "Ngona." It means "I am here to be seen." And when you see me, you validate me. When you see me, I exist. When you see me, I am loved. I am appreciated, and I am here to be seen and to be that which you see in me. And so there's such a deep meaning when you say I see you. It validates people, and this is what we were talking about earlier in the earlier segment. Is sometimes your parents validating you and believing in you and speaking your greatness. It only fills the cup 75%.
Yeah,
because the kids
they're obligated.
Well, they're smart because they know it's like, well, you're my parents. Of course, you're going to say that. But sometimes we need to be validated by other people, and that's why, as a community as a whole, if we validate each other, even with our eyes, if you walk by 10 people every day and make intentional, mindful eye contact with a little smile or a head nod, you just in that moment validated that person that they're important and that they matter. But if you walk by and you miss those opportunities, what you're doing subconsciously is telling those people, I'm not important, I don't matter, I don't belong. And then that's where they start going down that dark, lonely road where they separate themselves, they disconnect themselves, and they become lost, broken, and then now they got pain. And now you just get one of those people that have a lot of anger, and then that's where you got a really bad mixture of somebody that can hurt other people in their community.
He's Alex Urbina, Santa Clarita Life Coach, A Place to Heal. The event is free coming up this Wednesday at Bouquet Canyon Elementary School. Help your family heal from all the trauma. The community is going to be coming together. More info at alexurbina.com. That is alexurbina.com. Let's take a look at traffic, take a quick break, then we'll be back with more with Alex.
Beep, 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 beep. Go!
All right, let's check in with CHP right now. According to them, we are incident-free. No reports of traffic collisions or hazards at the moment. Both sides of the 5 are a little bit heavy between the 210 and Lyons Avenue. 14 northbound, a little bit more so, especially coming away from the 5. Speed's going to dip down to the mid-20s. Up through Golden Valley Road, not looking at open road until you reach Escondido Canyon. That's all I got. 298-5487 is the traffic tip line. 298-KHTS, 298-5487. On to your hometown station weather forecast. Clear skies throughout the rest of the evening. Feels weird saying evening. It's only 4:45, but it feels like 8. All the way through the overnights. Overnight low is going to drop down to the lower 50s. Heavier cloud coverage in the forecast tomorrow, then rain on Wednesday. Right now around town, 84 in Valencia, 83 right here in Old Town Newhall.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
Comfort Keepers provides your loved one with loving in-home care.
Miles McNamara, certified senior advisor and owner of Comfort Keepers in-home care.
Our caregivers can help you in your own home, enhancing independence, creating safety and comfort. Our Comfort Keepers provide companionship, meal preparation, medication reminders, assistance with personal care, and even transportation to doctor's appointments. If someone you love can use a helping hand at home, visit comfortkeepers.com.
Or call 287-4200.
Drug and alcohol use can lead to troubles at school or work, relationship problems, financial or legal difficulties, medical and psychiatric issues. I'm Bob Sheritz, the host of the Way Out Recovery Hour, airing every Monday at noon. The Way Out Recovery Hour features prominent guests and organizations discussing the epidemic of drugs and alcohol in our valley. Don't miss the Way Out Recovery Hour every Monday at noon. Don't lose hope. There is a solution. Knowledge is power. There is the way out.
This holiday music is brought to you by Providence Holy Cross Medical Center, your community health partner. To learn more about our award-winning care, call 1-888-HEALING or visit us on the web at providence.org.
Congratulations to Dave Reeves and his team at Reeves Complete Auto Center. They just celebrated their 11th year of serving the Santa Clarita Valley.
Thank you so much for choosing Reeves Complete Auto Center. I know you have plenty of choices for your car repair needs, so we appreciate you picking Reeves.
Tune-ups, brakes, transmissions, 30, 60, and 90,000-mile services, and much more. Find out about their special lifetime oil change program. Reeves Complete Auto Center on Ruther in Canyon Country. Find them online at reevesservice.com.
Please remember to support the Boys and Girls Clubs of Santa Clarita and the SCV Rotary Club.
Healthcare can be difficult if you're underinsured or have Medi-Cal. Samuel Dixon Family Health Center can help. Services are available on a sliding fee schedule. The mission of the Samuel Dixon Family Health Center is to give the Santa Clarita Valley access to affordable, quality primary care. There are 3 locations to serve you: Canyon Country, Newhall, and Valverde. Go to sdfhc.org for more information and to find the location most convenient for you.
There
comes Santa Claus.
Right down Santa Claus Lane.
Come on and break it on down.
KHTS, wishing you a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
4:49 coming up on 4:50. Alex Urbina back in studio. Santa Clarita Life Coach hosting a Place to Heal coming up this Wednesday night at Bouquet Canyon Elementary School. Of course, following last Thursday's tragic events at Saugus High School. More info at alexurbina.com. He also joins me in studio right now. Alex, what can we expect from this event that you're going to be putting on Wednesday?
Well, you can expect me and my team to be loving and compassionate, and then creating a safe space for you to come in and either learn more about grieving, more about healing, but also a space for you to share or hear other people share, and just really take yourself to that next level of grieving and on that journey, to be around other people that have broken hearts just like you. I don't know if you've ever been in a room or in a workshop or a training or even a support group where you have a bunch of people that have something that's similar that they're sharing. There's this awareness and this awakening of realizing I'm not alone. And that's also important too, to have that realization. And some people do it on social media, because you can get on a topic and have 200 people commenting and you feel like you're not alone because you're relating. But there's a whole different kind of experience when you're in a room where you can't hide behind a computer, but you're right in front of each other's faces and you're connecting. And
it's tougher to come clean.
There's real emotions. You know what I'm saying? You're like, I can feel your pain, and because you are vulnerable and sharing that, and I feel your pain and I connect with you, now I'm experiencing myself as a compassionate human being, and that in that instant, I'm starting to heal myself. So there's a lot of healing that can happen in a room, face to face with people and interacting than there is, just on your own.
And this is an event for students. It's also an event for parents, because a lot of times in these types of events, it's the parents that might have more difficulty moving forward.
Correct. It's an event for everybody. And one of the things that I like to talk about, and it just so happens that we started using this Saugus Strong statement. I like it. I actually love it, because it implies that together we're strong, and together you're not going to break us. I don't care who you are. However, the word strong sometimes has this connotation that implies I can't feel my feelings. I got to be strong for you. And I like to say, if we take the word strong out of I have to be strong for you, and we switch it out with courageous. I want to be courageous for you. And so for me, courageous means that I'm strong enough to show my feelings and heal from them, so that I can pick up my pieces and get back to living my extraordinary life. And so if we teach our kids how to live our life courageously, vulnerable, and experiencing our experiences, we develop resilience so that we can move on with our life. I know too many people that have decided that they're not going to cry, and they tell themselves, I got to be strong, and they shut their emotions down. And an example that's common is single moms that the father will not be in the home, and the mom will say, I got to be strong for my kids. And what happens is, quite often she'll shut her emotions down, and the kids will never see that vulnerable, loving, compassionate, nurturing side of mom, because she shut it down out of a decision that she made to be strong. And so women aren't able to tap into that natural nurturing part of them that children need. They need that mom. That's the gift that mom brings, right? It's one of the gifts. And so quite often that happens, and then that son or daughter will grow up emotionally insufficient, because they didn't get that nurturing and that modeling of being loving and vulnerable and intimate with each other.
The event is a Place to Heal coming up at Bouquet Canyon Elementary School. Help your family heal from the trauma, the fear, all the grief associated with last Thursday's Saugus High shooting. More info at alexurbina.com. This is not going to be like a regular training session for you, but you did have a training session this past weekend.
I did, and those people signed up for a whole different kind of training
than they got.
No, I meant they signed up for a type of an advanced level training where we get very deep and emotional and very powerful. The thing we're going to do on Wednesday is a different kind of training. It's more inviting. It's more subtle. It's more sharing. And
now, you were with us on the air on Thursday.
I was.
You had a training session scheduled beforehand this past weekend.
Correct.
Did you take anything from the week's events into the weekend? Did that affect how you trained the parents, the kids, the families that you were working with?
It did. What I brought into that training room was my broken heart. What I brought in that training room was a new sense of awareness to really emphasize to these parents that life is short, because sometimes we live in the illusion that it's not, and how to really seize the moment of what really matters to us and what's really important. And so in some of the exercises, as I was delivering it with an urgency. And so it caused some very powerful awakenings in some of those parents. And that was some of the sharing at the end. Was I really realized this weekend that I'm focused on things that really don't even matter. And what really matters is her. What really matters is him. And me being attentive to giving him or her what they need, which is my heart, which is more time, which is, the kind of time that really at the end of your life go, man, that was worth it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So more quality time, I think, was the awakening that a lot of these parents had. And sometimes we don't realize that we're not giving it until we have some kind of a wake-up call like this.
Yeah, or there's a guy like you with an increased level of urgency in his message. He's Alex Urbina, Santa Clarita Life Coach, A Place to Heal, coming up this Wednesday. What time does it start at?
6:30.
6:30 p.m. start time. Free 99. Will there be snacks? I'm anywhere that there's snacks, Alex.
I will bring snacks for sure, yeah.
I am there then.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Alex, for spending the 4 o'clock hour with us. Awesome stuff.
Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Of course. Time for one final break. We'll come back. We'll have a live look at traffic. Then we'll get you caught up with national news. He's Alex Urbina, Santa Clarita Life Coach, A Place to Heal, starting at 6:30 this Wednesday night. More info at alexurbina.com. That is alexurbina.com. Stay tuned. More coming up.